do it this way. Okay. So you can go first. You have you have first go. You can't actually attack him. What are you doing?
So, what can I do?
Well, you have other skills. You can try to distract him or dissuade him. You can try to scare him. You can, pretty
Draw
much.
your gun and and then drop down to prepare to drop shot him.
So I have this round, another round, and the third round, and then on round 4 is when Bang Bang
The
happens.
third round is when Bang Bang happens. The fourth round is when everyone else. You guys get 2 rounds of prep. You get to fire. That's supposed to represent you guys giving each other the stare down. And then the third round, you guys shoot.
I'm going to try to persuade him. I'm going to give him one more chance to back down.
This should be a contested roll. What are you rolling?
Persuasion.
Okay.
That's a D10. Well, okay, actually, my spirit's a D8, but my skill's a D10. So, what is it? D8, D10?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
So the spirit's a D8, the skill is a D10.
So you would use the D10 and then you use your wild die, which is always a 6.
Okay. So I'm looking at D10, comma D6, E6, keep highest 1.
Yeah. On my roll to go through. This is supposed to be fast. Okay, I think that. Oh. All right, you have done the thing. He's, let's see. He's going to go ahead and try and intimidate you.
How do I resist that?
I think that would be, what is it? I don't have a character sheet open to look at the skills. It's probably contested by what would be like a fear roll. So you'd be making a roll against that. I'd have to go look at the rule.
So what, like I'm using spirit?
That would be the most favorable for you. So I don't know if you want to take a second or just go with it.
Book it, I'll go with it. I'll go with a D8 backed by a D6.
Okay.
Don't. The
your
normal dice
die
explodes. Yeah, so you just roll again.
All right. You are unshaken by his taunts. You just yeah, he tells you you're gonna end up in a pine box, and you just narrow your eyes at him. Okay. Everybody else has a moment. Who's next?
Fred.
Okay, Fred. So right about now, you turn, you see this. You have a little bit of time to move. So at this point, you could probably make your way back over there if you wanted or whatever.
I draw my rifle out of the holster on my horse and just take aim from here. Well, how far away am I, like actual distance?
I don't know. What's your range on your rifle?
The rifle is 96. Yeah, 24, 48, 96 are the three numbers that it gives.
I
And I
made
scope, so it
I
takes a +2 or some shit.
I a- and those squares should be equal to like one pace each, I think. So you're probably I'm not gonna count all those squares. We'll just call you at like medium range.
Okay. Then yeah, I wouldn't bother changing my range. I would just draw my rifle and steady myself and aim at the guy, but I'm not going to shoot, obviously, because it looks like he's dueling.
Now, who we got after that?
Me.
Okay. Father, you look up and see that the marshal has disappeared. You can kind of see the top of his head and his hat on the other side of the platform.
And I see him squaring off with this young man, and they appear to be getting ready to shoot each other.
Well, from where you're at, it's hard to see that.
Well, I walk over towards the edge of the platform.
But yeah, as you approach, it becomes very clear.
All right, am I able to get into a reasonable talking distance with either of them? So I'm not like hollering across, like 2 train tracks or whatever it is.
You won't be able to make it as far out as he is. You'd probably have to be standing on the tracks. But yeah, you can get.
Is there a train coming?
The train just left.
Okay.
And a new one
You will
pulls
have
in.
to raise your voice, but you won't have to shout.
Yeah, okay. Then I would raise my voice and I would be calling out to them and be like, and it would be, and what is going on here? In an effort to try to persuade dialogue rather than combat. Because I'm sitting there in my priestly accoutrements, this old priest asking what in the Sam hell is going on.
All right, so that's another persuasion roll.
Okay.
Years we will use. Okay. So the father is very convincing, and you could tell there's a tiny bit of hesitation in this kid because he flicks his eye for a second, and his hand moves just ever so slightly away from his gun before he puts his eyes back on you, Marshall. He is, however, gonna suffer from being distracted.
Okay. I mean, that's all I'm doing at that point, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's your turn.
Yep.
Okay. Father.
There's nothing I can do but look over there and, hold my Bible.
Okay. And Ashley, I mean, you're sitting there probably still bawling your eyes out, but
yeah, she's not gonna do anything until guns are shot.
That's how the dynamite comes out.
okay. So that's top of the initiative, and we're gonna roll again.
I'll reroll initiative every round. Alright. I might as well not bother then. Not like I'm doing anything this round.
Okay.
Am I rolling 254s or just one?
I dropped the idea because it's not going to work because I don't want to have to deal with both of us having to hide dice from each other. That's silly.
That's fair.
Okay. You've got your rifle aimed. You got a bead on this guy. What are you doing?
Well, I'll take a second since it looks like the duel will either take place or not take place, and double check to make sure my gun is loaded because it did just go on a train ride, and I probably would have unloaded it. So
Sure, I'll tell you. We'll say you check. You check. You make sure you're loaded up. You check your sights. Everything looks good. You still can't fire until this duel's over, but you'll get a +1 on your first shot.
sounds good.
All right. Father Mal.
I continue walking towards this troubled youth. To a more reasonable talking range. And also so I'm not standing on the train tracks. Sorry, Factorio's making me a bit paranoid about standing on train tracks.
That is fair.
And I'm going to be like, son, what's your name? What are you doing here?
So I think that's pretty much the same thing. It's another persuasion roll.
Okay. Not very persuasive this time.
Rolls yet.
Am I able to get like right up to him though to like reasonable talking range?
But you can't really block the duel.
Yeah, I'm not getting between them. I'm not an idiot. I'm not. I'm within like say touch range of him off to his side is what I mean.
Up pretty close to him, and as you kind of walk towards him, he's the side and makes it he keeps a clear way, so you're not in his shot.
Right, yeah, like I said, I'm approaching from the side of the duel. I'm not getting between him and the marshal if they start shooting at each other.
But it's the point is, it's clear he doesn't want to shoot you either.
Right. Yeah, I want to be clear, I don't have a gun in my hand. I do own a gun. It's probably in my pack with the horse and all that. All right, well,
All right.
that's what I do.
Okay. And then it's his turn.
Aren't you forgetting someone?
Am I?
Al?
Oh.
You're kind of forgetting me.
Oh. Oh, you went. Really?
You kind of skipped me.
Why did we do that? Should have said something. Okay, go ahead.
Because the priest is holier than thou.
I could have said something, but
He wanted a
also
chance to shoot
misread it.
both of us.
All right. So what actually am I able to do in terms of readied actions?
Generally speaking, this whole thing is an opportunity to do various tests to try to inflict status effects on your opponent to make it less likely that he kills you in a second.
So like getting ready to dolphin dive as practiced against McYorkle is not a ready to action.
You can hold your action. If you like don't want to be the first to draw, you can hold your action and then try to beat him once he starts his draw on his turn. But depending on who rolls first in initiative here, that might not matter, right? Like you could do that on this turn, but then if you roll first in initiative, you'll have to do it again or just shoot him.
Right. And then calling shots is something I would have to do on that turn.
Correct.
You know, I'm going to try to persuade him. I'm going to tell him to listen to the father. Man's trying to help you.
He's making a lot of the same rolls. There you go.
All right, let's see here. Persuasion D10.
And
All right.
status effects, because I need to do before people get shot. So you have not moved him.
He's chosen death. Alrighty, well, I believe that's all I can do.
I believe so. I am still looking for the rules for distracted. If anybody who's not in the middle of something wants to find the page that
I can. Sorry.
all right.
Page 100. Distracted. Hero subtracts 2 from all trait rolls until the end of the next turn.
Beautiful. I will tell you that lasts until the end of the third round in this. It does not end at the end of the turn. Okay. So, take his turn. Time to intimidate the marshal.
Heh.
Decent roll. All right. You vulnerable. I should have -2 that, by the way, but it still wins. Okay. So
Where's vulnerable on here?
those are both on page 100 in the. I mean, I don't know if it's actually page 100, but if you use the
It
PDF
is.
search, yeah.
Here we are.
Hmm.
Shaft, you listening into some D&D?
Alrighty. AGR, we doing this?
We are. We're rolling an ish one more time. Ooh,
That's Joker.
it is.
Joker do.
20 plus 4.
Typically, the Joker means you go whenever the hell you want. But I'm going to just double check the dueling rules with the Joker.
I'll be right back.
At a table is you would get more than one initiative card, and then you would and then on the third round you wouldn't get an initiative. You would have cards already in your hand, and you would pick the one you wanted,
Ah.
and you would have a chance to from your opponent's hand blindly to affect the outcome. But that's too much.
You have to do that in like tabletop or something to be able to properly.
Yeah,
simulate
it would work great in tabletop, not so well here. Yeah.
I just added Ashley in there.
I'm back.
So, I believe this gentleman draws first
Is the Joker?
because of the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Why so serious?
Why so serious? God, my voice is too raspy.
Overrated movie, overrated character.
Get the fuck out of this server.
Fuck off.
Someone ban that
Ledger's a
fucker.
fucking legend. That was one of his best roles he ever did.
It's one of the
Murder
best roles,
Gilbert. I'm trying to
period.
murder Gilbert right now.
I mean,
If you shit talk, I ban you.
I holster my rifle.
Well, this guy actually had the duelist edge anyway, and he was supposed to have extra hole cards. So him getting a Joker is kind of cosmic balance.
I'm not wrong though. The Joker is an overplayed and overused and overrated character.
From the Dark Knight
This
Rises.
seems like
specifically?
this seems like it's distracting from the gunfight happening.
That's it, Alfred. Distracted condition. But you already have that, don't you? Or
Yeah.
no, you have vulnerable.
How do I get in on
It-
this?
Duel's over. And he gets a +1 from that. And does this do anything? Oh, that's neat. I didn't think about that, but that's cool. Okay. So he gets a -2, he gets a +1, and I think that's all that matters here. So, that is a hit because he only has to make a 4. Shaken though.
You cut out there. He only has to get a 4, but shaken though.
Correct.
Oh, okay, that was a pause. All right.
I mean, I said more, but you got all the important words. You probably aren't taking any damage. You did get hit, so you should be shaken.
He fucks up my hat.
Yeah, I think his shot goes a little high, hits the brim of your hat, and knocks it off your head. That was him. It is now your turn. Is anybody else in the middle of this doing a shot?
I'm waiting for the Marshall shot or Marshall going down. Those are the two.
I mean,
polar
when it's my turn in
opposites.
initiative, I'll do something.
Not before his.
Right, that's what I mean.
Ashley, she can't do anything anyway. I don't know why she's back in a niche.
Third round.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just load my rifle. Since shots are going off now. Still
Oh,
can't be
yes.
distracted like this entire fight.
Very good.
Alrighty. Can I dolphin dive and shoot?
Fancy it up. You can shoot him.
Wow. Getting fucking prone though will make him harder to shoot me.
Yeah, you can use your movement to go prone.
Yeah, I'll use my movement to go prone. There's no way I can improve my shot, is there?
Well, you couldn't aim because you have to have your weapon holstered up until the third round. So there was no way to, or like some edges that could have affected that. But really, right now, not that I know of. You mostly just shoot the guy.
Okay, I drop prone and I shoot him. That's a okay. So my shooting's a D10 and then D6 E6. Okay, keep high as one.
I think it's the same roll I had without those modifiers. Oh, and I forgot you were vulnerable. But that's not actually I think enough to matter too much.
Okay. How am I affecting my roll? Because I've shaken now. I'm not seeing that on here.
Oh yes, you are shaken. I forgot. Let's see. I don't remember your life bat though. You may be negatively impacted by that in a substantial way. Does anybody else remember what that does? It should be pretty early in combat, I would think, because it's kind of something
Got
that
it.
happens frequently.
Pasting it in chat.
Thank you. Okay. So you could dive and go prone. You can move around. You can make your spirit roll before you do anything else, and then if you got to test your resolve and see if you're taken aback by having your hat shot off.
All right. So we'll start with that roll.
Or is generally speaking the target number for all the things. So you are no longer shaken. Now you may dive and attempt to shoot him.
I dive and I blast him.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
And so then Spider-Man started blasting.
What's going on right now?
Somebody challenged the marshal to a duel.
Okay.
Am I able to spend a Benny on this? Doesn't that
Yeah.
leave like re-roll stuff?
You can spend a Benny to reroll that.
Am I just re-rolling the 10 or am I re-rolling the whole thing?
Everybody has their own bennies. Otherwise, I would just use the light side, dark side points. If y'all are okay with sharing bennies, you are welcome to just use the light side, dark side points.
Oh, I see the Bennies on my character sheet. It says I start with 3.
Right. We can add up all of those, and we could use that because you using bennies means I'm gonna start using bennies.
Okay.
Is there a default what we should start with or somewhere?
Well, you each have 3. If you're willing to pool them all together, you can just add up all the characters.
So do I re-roll this whole sequence or do I just re-roll like the D10?
The entire roll again.
Okay.
And Gilbert,
That'd be 21.
hold on a minute. You want your D10 will also explode. So make sure you add the E10 to that.
Okay.
I have one less Benny because I took the bad luck.
An 8.
Okay. So you can
So
just
20.
give me, you can give me 2 of those. It should be 3 for each of you, and then I get his.
Okay, so I
Okay. So that is great. That is a success with a raise. So,
Oh boy, what does that do?
you face.
I what?
None of that made it through.
You shoot him in the face.
Oh, he's just dead?
I mean, if he wasn't, he wouldn't be very happy because he no longer has a face. Bad time for him. Like the shot went in pretty much at the top of his nose and out the back of his head.
What gun did you pick? Marshall?
Colt Frontier.
Ooh, that's a big bullet.
Yeah, he falls backwards, just stiff as a plank, and he makes himself a little snow angel.
I mean, I do have a question about these raises. What do raises do?
Basically, generally speaking, a 4 is a success, and every 4 on top of that is a raise. It's another success. So, if you roll a 4, that's enough to shake him. You roll an 8, that's enough to shake him and then wound him. Unfortunately for this guy, that's all he can take.
So he's just straight up blasted.
Yep.
Am I here yet?
I don't. You can bring yourself in when it seems convenient. That was just a loud gunfight in the middle of this train. Colorado.
What is wrong with you, Mike? You like fade in and out every word.
I don't know. I'm literally like my beard is touching my microphone. It's very close to my mouth. I've had it here every time I've spoken.
It sounds like a
You're not using
Connection
push or
issue.
voice activation, are you? AGR.
I said I don't do that.
All right, well, he's dead.
Is he dead? I do I do check since I'm right there.
But AGR gets that bad luck, Benny. So the total would still be 21. He just starts with 1.
Ah.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I just didn't want to talk over.
They're in a town?
They are in the town of Denver, Colorado.
And they're out in like the square?
They're at the
Train
train
station.
station. They're between a couple of the tracks, having a gunfight in the snow. The gunfight is over.
Yeah, if it looks like he's dead, I'll just holster my rifle and rejoin the good Marshal.
That should be correct, yeah.
Sounds like I would notice this.
Sure.
I would as well.
Yeah, I don't see why not. That you probably drew a crowd.
So anyway, I
Oh,
do
that's
check
fine,
that the guy is actually dead.
Yes, he is dead. And as I said, when he fell, like he landed with force and he landed in the snow. So the way he landed forced snow up through the hole in the back of his head and out through the hole in his nose. His face is covered in snow.
Like a forbidden cherry slushy.
Yeah, it's very red snow.
Well, I'll hop down on Sunshine and check his pockets and see if I can figure out what the hell this guy's problem was. Why he's shooting my my boss. I don't actually work for the marshal. I just call him my boss.
You're part of the posse.
Okay. Well, he's got a Colt Frontier, $7 in his pocket. He's dressed in a warm coat, and there's not a whole lot on him, but he does have a purple sash on his right arm.
All right, I'll take the sash and put the pistol in my duffel bag and put the money in my wallet.
Okay. Where do you
Like
put the
not
sash?
hiding any of that. The sash? I'll just give it to the marshal.
Okay.
Well, he had this on him, but that's it. Making no mention of the gun or the money. Even though everybody's seen me do it. I
Making
just
no
didn't
mention
care.
of the gun that we all clearly saw.
Well, the fact that I kept it, or like I didn't say anything like that.
Make a common
No, I
knowledge
wasn't.
roll, Frederick.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Do I need to explode with the D4 too?
Yeah. Pretty much everything explodes in this game.
Ah, okay.
Remember the crater we left behind last time?
Like I said.
Everything explodes in this game.
Especially when the
Okay.
party gets involved.
So, Frederick, as you're reaching for this gun, you would have this occur to you. The marshal just shot this man in the middle of the street. And in order for that to be legal, the man has to have been armed.
Oh, then I'd leave it. Yeah, if that's common knowledge. Yeah, if I'd leave the pistol with him.
Fucking
But I still
Lute's
take the
corpse gets companion in trouble.
Okay.
I mean, I'd present the gun if the conversation came up. Yeah, I took his gun. But other than that, yeah, I would just leave it with the corpse then. But I'll still take the sash, the money.
Okay.
I'm gonna find someone to clean up the corpse.
Okay. Father Maxwell makes his way to the Undertaker. You can actually see him. He's just across the street.
Yeah, where I'm gonna.
There's coffins all outside, so.
Convenient. And yeah, I'm sitting there just doing like the last rites on the guy.
I'm checking all of his pockets while he's doing that.
I'm just shaking my head like, these people.
You've seen it all by now.
All right, can I approach this group
Anytime.
of weirdos? All right, so you guys see what from a distance appears to be a cowboy approaching you guys. Black hat, kind of black shirt and pants, real rough looking, right, from a distance. But you notice he's moving real slow, like, okay? And as he starts to get closer, is it day, night? What's the visibility?
Yeah, it's evening. It's really fairly early, but it's getting dark really early as well because it's December.
But they should be able to see me, like, is it light enough for that?
Well, yeah, there's light out here. It's not
Okay.
light out, but there are lights out here because it's an active train station.
Okay, as figure gets closer and closer, you start to see more what he actually looks like. Okay, and I just want you to visualize in the D&D chat. This is essentially what he looks like.
Oh my God, he's beef jerky.
So he looks like the undead.
So that's
Oh god,
what
he's
he looks
undead.
like.
He looks like an evil
So,
gunslinger.
I'm coming up to you guys, and howdy, partners.
I pull out my crucifix and turn undead.
That's funny.
Oh god, it's the dark gunslinger of Western legend.
So yeah, at a glance, without thinking too hard about it, this is a pacey-looking fella. He kind of stinks, and he's in all black. He looks unwell at the very least, and he has a couple of wounds on him that look like maybe he's been picking at them too much because they're not healing.
Hayes, what the fuck did you create?
This is all AGR's creation, I'll have you know.
AGR created it.
Oh dear god.
Howdy, partners.
Howdy.
See y'all like to make a bang, huh?
As Hayes actually vape coughs.
He only smokes the doctor's favorite cigarettes.
Do any of y'all have tongues in your mouths?
You, sir, appear to be unwell.
What are you insinuating here?
That you're ill.
I've never felt better.
Are you sure?
You're damn right, Skipper.
This is an elderly priest asking you that.
Now listen here, folks. They call me Cowboy for short, but the name's John Dutton, and I've been looking to join a new outfit for a while.
Well, the more the merrier. Get in the back.
What is this outfit all about? Besides killing folks in the street.
That was a perfectly legal duel. As for our purpose, I'm forming a posse in order to find my missing son. Disappeared about a month and a half back. Got in with the wrong crowd. Got a letter a few days ago from the city, effectively asking me to come get him. He seems to have gotten over his head.
This sounds like my kind of rodeo, son.
So about this time,
His kind of rodeo, son, he says to a man that's probably older than him.
about this time, the crowd around you parts as the town sheriff walks into the circle. He looks down at the corpse and at the armed gang standing around it, and he looks up, and he sees Mr. Graham, are you wearing your badge?
Always.
Oh.
Never takes it off.
Sleeps with it.
Well, quite literally.
He's banging his wife. It's still there on his chest.
Honey, the badge stays on during sex.
Fair enough. All right. So the sheriff, seeing that, he eases up a little. He takes his hand off his side, and he looks at the man, and he kind of kicks a little bit of the snow off his face, and he kind of eyeballs him sideways for a second. And he's like, "Oh shit, I know that. I know that half a face anywhere. That's one of Grimshaw's boys."
Grimshaw?
Yeah, Dallas Grimshaw. He was running a gang in these parts. The Grimshaw gang. Where's this? And he kind of turns the body over. They all wear these purple sashes. Where the hell's his? Well, either way, this here is Elroy McKever. He's worth $20.
Neat. HR is Alfred able to cash in on that?
I mean, yeah, you shot the man.
Alrighty, yeah. Graham's gonna cash in on that.
Well, if we'll just take him back down to the station and I'll get your money. If you'll haul him down there, I gotta stop at the bank. I'll be with you in a few minutes.
I'll sling the corpse up on my horse then.
And he looks up at the rest of the crowd. He says, "All right, now the rest of y'all get. It's time to disperse." And they don't listen the first time, so he draws his weapon and fires it in the air. Everybody freaks out a little bit, and they all back out and start going about their business.
Chip stays around.
Violent place, this Denver.
Wretched
just sitting
hive
there
of
like this.
scum and villainy.
That's probably what Chip actually looks like. He bought
Yeah, that
500
is Chip.
cigars.
The man
He's just sitting there like,
We got one guy carrying around 5,000 sticks of dynamite, another guy just walking around with endless cigars. They're
And
gonna get
none of-
along great.
None of this could go poorly.
oh yeah, no. I take one out and I flick one towards Ashley, but just like a little too close for comfort.
All right.
Swaps out one of his cigars with a stick of dynamite. Starts smoking the stick of dynamite.
This cigar smells funny.
Hmm.
Man, the end of this is really burning quick.
Jeez.
Why is it sizzling?
Whew. Howdy, y'all. My name's Chips. Nice to meet you. Can I offer you a cigar?
Nice to meet you. So, why are you hanging around the duel here like the grim servant to death?
I just like watching people die. That's all I ever am around for.
The marshal's going to take a mental note of this guy.
Marshall Graham will remember this.
Marshall Graham's list of suspect characters has just grown. By a whole
No, we have
two
to watch-
people.
No, I only like watching. I never do the killing myself.
I think
He's
that's
one of
even more
those.
suspicious.
You ain't never killed nobody, son.
Marshall's gonna
No.
make a second note about chips.
So what y'all doing here?
And Alfred Graham's gonna give him the rundown.
All right. Alfred Graham gives him the rundown. The whole time you're doing so, there's this corpse laying over this horse, and it's just dripping blood down the back leg of this horse and making this big red pool in the snow.
Mind if I go take a sniff?
Perhaps we ought to mosey on down to where the sheriff told us to go.
Yeah, to the morgue to inter the body.
Oh, he told us to go to
Vultures.
the sheriff's office, didn't he?
All right. We go there.
Okay. Well, he'd already finished his errand, and he's sitting back there at his desk by the time you get there. And, yeah, he tells you to leave it round back, and he's got his boys with a cart waiting.
All right. I'd have relieved him of his pistol. Been
All
like,
right.
mind if I keep this?
And so they basically just tell you to keep it in leather until you get out of town.
No worries. I just throw it in my saddlebag.
All right. So, what are you fellas doing here in Denver on this fine winter's day?
And the marshal gives him the rundown.
Got in with the wrong crowd.
Indeed.
I see it happen a lot these days. Well, around these parts, the wrong crowd is the Grimshaw gang. There's quite a few of them. Now, the all the important fellers, we got them listed on the board over here, and we'll pay you for them. Those are all the ones we can tie to something. Now, there's quite a few of them running around the town, and they terrorize people something fierce, but we can't generally pin nothing on most of them, so we just kind of have to wait till they screw up. Now, the leader of the gang, Grimshaw here, Dallas Grimshaw, he's worth $500. Now, I ain't seen him since he robbed the stage, and that's been damn near a year ago. But his boys are still in town all the damn time. I don't know that I have much else for you. I mean, unless your boy took to gambling. Those are the real movers around here.
Any idea where they hang out?
Well, the foot soldiers, they about think they run the place, so they hang out wherever the hell they want. But for the most part, you ain't gonna get nothing out of them because they're, well, frankly, they don't know nothing. You got a whole heap of them that, you know, they'll roughhouse and they'll steal where they can, and I'm sure it makes it up the chain, but I haven't had a whole lot of luck. But you can pretty much go on in any fine establishment around this town. You got a chance of running into one of them. They ain't exactly secretive. They wear the damn sashes wherever they go.
So is it kill on sight for these guys, or is it just try to capture them? And what happens, happens.
Well, you can't just go around shooting people because they're in a club. Unfortunately. If you draw iron on one of them and you can't pin something to them, it gets a mite messy. As a matter of fact, this duel down here could end up having some ramifications for me. Speaking of, about how long you plan on being in town?
As little time as possible.
That might be for the best.
As long as you need
I
us to.
tend to find my son and leave.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, Marshall. Now, I'm going to have to ask that you not take too long. There's a fine establishment just down the road, and we can put you up for the night. But tomorrow, I'd like you out of here as soon as possible, because well, things probably going to get a little fiery.
I understand.
In the meantime, let me know if you need anything.
Will do. Thank you, Sheriff.
Well, Marshall, where do you want to go look for your son?
I haven't the faintest idea. Didn't really give me any useful information in the letter. I mean, here, you take a look at it.
I take a look at it. Is there anything telling about it?
Not really. It's a boy who didn't really think about how to make this useful. He just wanted to apologize to his dad. So he says he made a big mistake, and he wants to go home, and that he's sorry, and yeah, he says to tell Ma that he loves her, and that's about it. And if you look at the envelope, you can see that it was posted, and it came through Denver, Colorado.
You know, it'd have to go through the post office. We could probably check there first.
The other options, we find some of these lower level gang members and ask to talk to their boss. But when I'm looking at this letter, I'd like to attempt to detect Arcana using the Blessed features.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure how any of that works.
I have to make a Faith Spirit roll, and
Okay.
the TN is 4 by default.
Okay.
Since it's a rank novice skill, I'm at -2. in addition to my other modifiers.
So be it. All you got to do is beat a 4.
Mhm. Then because I have the conviction edge, I get a +2 bonus, so cancels out.
Very good. Ah, nice.
Okay, so this allows me to sense like any supernatural effects with like it's the equivalent to like detect magic.
Yeah. Well, I think you get a general sense of the sort of fear and dread that was present at the time the author was writing it, and it's definitely sincere based on that. Beyond that, I don't think you get any strong indication of anything. But there was a powerful fear.
Okay. Yeah, I hand it back to the Marshal. Say, well, I don't know any details, but I can tell that the your son, when he wrote this, was truly afraid, deathly afraid of something. It's best we find him quickly.
And of course, Gilbert's AFK. Yeah. If anybody'd like to take 5 for a restroom break, now's a great time. I think I, in fact, will.
Okay.
Cue the theater wait music. Get your popcorn and snacks.
Let's all go to.
Yep. Exactly what was going through my head.
Are most of us back?
I'm back. Also, never left.
We're still waiting on
Makes
Gilbert.
sense. Okay. Okay.
Let's go to the pub.
Okay. You make your way to the Crystal Saloon.
All right. I walk in.
Sorry, I grabbed a cookie from downstairs. I'm just gonna take 1 moment.
Sure.
Who on this?
Okay. So, yeah. It's a narrow little bar. Um, the property is long but not wide. So the bar kind of runs parallel to the side walls. You kind of come in and there's enough room for some bar stools and the bar, and then one little row of little tables and chairs against the opposite wall. That's about all the room you've got. There's a handful of people in there drinking. It's not the most crowded place you ever been in, but it's not totally dead.
Okay. I walk over to the bar to get a drink. On my way there, do I notice any group of people wearing those stupid purple sashes?
Yeah. You don't have to make like a notice roll or anything. They wear these openly.
I'm back.
Every single person in the bar except for the bartender.
Oh, good. We found the gang's bar. Everyone in this bar except the bartender and us is a gang member.
Yeah,
Is the,
looks that way.
Is there a piano player? Music?
Nobody's at any instruments right now. Actually, this bar doesn't really have room for a piano.
Okay.
Um,
If there wasn't, I'd have gone over and started playing Maple Leaf. But never mind.
well, let's just imagine away a table because I didn't really draw it out. I was imagining the layout. We could imagine a little piano by the door.
Well, then I would start playing a Maple Leaf for Egg.
Okay.
Okay, so I just got back. What did we learn? Other than we found their bar?
Yep, we're in the Crystal Saloon in their saloon, full of purple sashes, and I play
Alright.
the piano.
The bartender turns to Father Malnon and he says, "Preacher, I don't mean to be rude, but we don't serve your kind in here. It's not good for business."
Oh, I see. I wasn't aware that this was a Protestant establishment. Excuse me, and I turn and I leave.
I'm with the father.
Okay. So, Frederick, you are playing piano in the gang's bar.
Yep.
By yourself.
Everybody else left?
I mean, the preachers walked in first, and then they turned around and left. I don't know what everybody else has done, but I think as of right now, yes, you're the only one standing in there currently.
Do they like my tunes?
They seem ambivalent. You want to make did we have a performance roll or an equivalent? You have a skill?
No, I don't have a skill for that, but there is probably a roll. So let me find the skills again. Oh, let's see. Electronics, faith, fighting, focus, gambling, hacking, healing, intimidation, language, notice, occult, no, performance. Yeah, there's a performance.
There it
It's a
is.
spirit check.
Rolled in bones.
All right. I have a 6 spirit, but I don't have anything performance. So what would that roll be? It would just be a D4, D6.
I
'Cause
don't
have a
remember.
yeah, I don't have a skill, but I am spirited. So I'll just do a D4, D6.
unskilled, page 89. You roll a d4 and -2.
Okay.
You're at a -2 penalty.
Easy enough. D4, D6, -2.
All right. So now we know how to do unskilled shit.
Oh, and the DM can at his discretion basically say you cannot do this untrained.
I mean,
Well, I'd have some piano skill. I just
The example they used was surgery. You can't attempt surgery without having some skill in healing.
I mean, that would kind of make sense.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
it's,
being an aristocrat,
What?
that's probably
It's not-
the skill my parents would have forced upon me. So I know
I,
how
I
to
will,
play it.
I will definitely say you technically know how. I don't know how proficient you are.
KH1 -2.
Because what rich kid doesn't learn at least one instrument?
Yeah, that's basically it. That's where I learned how to play piano. I know how to do rags and everything, but it's been a little while. What did I do wrong? Do I need to do minus inside the parentheses?
base
No,
hexacommon,
you did
I think.
4DE4. It should be D4E4.
Oh,
Like your dice rolls, your actual dice formulas are wrong.
yep. I see it now. I just typed too fast.
I like how that just magically summoned Geek.
Math. He's a math nerd.
I mean, D4 E4
E.
is a nice combination, but I personally prefer E1 M1.
That is
Well,
a
that's
grand
about what's
combination.
going to start happening in this bar.
Depending how this roll goes with the -2, yeah.
Okay. Everybody sits their drinks down, and they all kind of just eye you silently. And the bartender kind of goes, son, if you can't play, don't play.
Well, I could play something different. I'm a little rusty. Any requests?
Two of them say at the same time, yeah, I got a request. And then the other one says, get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, I'll get up from the piano. It's like, I was just trying to make friends. Guess piano isn't the way to sway you guys. Maybe a game
All
of
right.
dice.
All right. There's a man says he hears you say friends. He's at the table nearest you. And he says, "Oh, you're friendly, huh? You want to be friendly? All right. All right. Well, how about you buy a friend a drink?"
All right. I'll pull $2 out of my pocket change, not out of my wallet, and be like, "Oh, I can buy a drink or two. How about a game of dice?"
Make a persuasion roll.
All right.
I'm gonna give you a -1 because they're starting a little
So,
a little hostile. Not super hostile, little hostile.
Micro hostility.
He says, "I don't gamble with nobody I don't know. We gonna be friends first, right?"
all right. Yeah, we can be friends first. I'll go to the barkeep with the $2 and get a round of drinks for that table over there.
All right. He $2. Let's see. How many drinks can we get with $2?
Quite a bit.
I think he just goes around and pours a drink for everyone in the bar except for Frederick.
Understandable. I never said I was drinking. I'm buying my friends a drink. There's a difference.
Dominance asserted.
I swear I see beer or seen beer on one of these lists.
All right. So they all take their drinks.
A glass of beer is 5 cents.
Yeah. They all take their drinks. How much is a shot?
10 cents.
Because that's what they're all gonna drink.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's 10 cents, so I can get 20 shots.
All right. Yeah, they're gonna have a tray with 20 shots on it, and they're all gonna start drinking them. And they're gonna clear their tray, and then they're gonna say, "All right, bar's closed. Get lost."
You don't want another round? I procure another $2 out of my pocket change.
Yeah, one of them grabs it and hands it to the bartender and says, "All right, bar's closed. Get lost."
All right, I'll tip my hat and walk out.
All right. You hear some giggling in there.
I turn around and go back in and say, "Oh, I forgot to tip the bartender." And I take another $1 out and put it on the bar for the bartender, and then walk out.
All right. So you're outside the Crystal Saloon.
Two priests, a U.S. Marshal, a zombie, and like two kids, I think. Or is it just one kid?
I don't know how old Potato is, or Chip is.
I don't even think Chip knows how old Chip is. I think
Oh,
he just
Underdark,
lost.
Underdark, you should definitely grab that other material. The prices are different from book to book.
That's from the Deadlands book that I posted mine.
Yeah. The second Deadlands book, in AGR's thing, is updated more.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there's a companion book too.
Yeah, because as soon as you posted that, I was screenshotting the same thing. I was like, wait, that looks different. Oh, he's still using the old book. Because that will change the price of guns and things, we discovered. Some of the gun prices changed for sure that we know of.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not too worried about nitpicking that kind of stuff anyway. If yeah. All right, so they're still carrying on in there, like
Uh-huh.
nothing happened.
Well, Marshall, how do you want to handle this? Did AGR go AFK again? Or, sorry, did Gilbert go AFK again?
Perhaps Gilbert.
I'll handle it. I want to walk in and just see if I notice any groups of them standing off away from each other.
There's 3 of them at the bar,
I'm back.
and there are 4 more sitting at tables.
4 more sitting there. Alright, I want to go start some shit. See if I can
What's-
starting shit between them.
What's going on, guys?
I'm going to start some shit between the people in the bar.
Well, I flubbed making friends with them. And so now Chip is going in to, be annoying.
Yeah, where's the purple sash? I might want to use that before I go in. Right better on my arm.
Marshall's got it.
Marshall, may I borrow the purple sash?
Why do you want the purple sash?
Just trust me.
Here.
Alright, tie it around my arm, and I'll walk in. I'm gonna go to one of the group. You said there's groups of 4 at tables?
So there are 3 of them at the bar, and then there are
Uh-huh.
4 more of them at tables. So the tables only seat 2 each, and they're sitting at tables next to each other, close to the door. But the place is pretty small, so people aren't really far apart from each other.
All right, I'll mosey on up to the bar then.
All right.
I'm gonna pull up my character sheet just in case or something.
So when you walk in, are you wearing the sash?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask, where's your character from? Are they from around here?
I would say from Denver, yes.
Okay.
He knows where he's he knows where he's from, he just doesn't know how old he is.
Okay.
So walk up to the ones at the bar and I kind of whisper them to him, or kind of whisper to him slightly, saying, "Hey, you know those other guys that are sitting at the table? I think they've been talking bad about you guys this entire time. You know what I mean? I think they don't trust you. I think they're trying to, relinquish you guys to the law just to get some heat off their backs."
So he's nodding. He's like, oh, that's so. Ooh. Then he's going to stand up and turn to the guys at the table. And he's going to say, hey, fellers, new boy here says y'all are talking shit about me. Then they say, we ain't ever stopped talking shit about you. And then they're all going to laugh. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. And then the bartender's going to say, what can I get you, sir?
Whiskey. Neat.
All right. That we got.
Take out a cigar. Pass one to my friend I just made.
Oh, mighty fine of you, mighty fine.
Would you like a light?
I got a light. And he'll pull a lighter.
So, what keeps you in Denver?
He's going to take a couple good puffs out of that cigar and breathing directly in your face. He's going to say, I love the weather.
Why would you love the weather? It's either cold as shit or just hot.
He just laughs and keeps puffing on his cigar.
So what you boys been up to?
Drinking. The ones at the table are chit-chatting, and the one directly behind you says, so where'd you get that sash, feller? I don't remember getting your name.
Me? Name's Potato.
Tater, huh?
You sure?
Any of you fellers know a tater? Guy next to him says, shit. I think I'd remember if I knew a tater.
What's tater, precious?
What'd you say?
I'm gonna stick them in a stew.
Yeah, just new hire, trying to get me used to the people wearing the sashes and everything.
Oh, all right. How'd you fall in?
I just woke up one day. Somebody was like, "Hey, here, take this. You might need it. Come with me."
Somebody, huh?
I never really caught their name. They're just like, "We're family now. Take this sash. You'll be taken care of as long as you're wearing one."
Is there? I don't know if there's a deception stat.
It falls.
There
Oh,
is.
there's a
Can you make
There
a
is.
Is it
wait?
one?
There's a deception skill, I think, yeah.
Can we double check that and then have you make a roll?
What would that be? I don't have it, so would that be spirit or persuasion?
So if you don't have deception and there is a deception, then you're going to be rolling a d4 minus 2, but you're also going to be rolling a d6 because you're a wild card. So we'll walk you through that once we know, because let's double check to make sure what the skills are.
Apparently there isn't.
I
Okay.
don't see deception itself, but I feel like I remember reading a part that said that it's classified under like the same thing as persuasion.
It's fine with me. If you have persuasion, you can use that. If not, it's a d4 minus 2 and a d6. And you'll want to use kind of the same formula everyone else is using. So you'll do exclamation mark R and then d4 e4, d6 e6, keep highest 1 minus 2.
D4, E.
Frederick's got a roll at 817 that'll look identical to the one you need to make. Yeah, let's put a crater in another city.
Performance can be used instead.
Oh. Right. Would I have that -2?
You would definitely have that minus 2. Unless you have persuasion as a skill. Really, you
And
should
it's on-
have some additional malice because this is this is not an easy persuasion attempt.
How'd you join our group? Like I met a dude and he gave me some stuff.
So
Yep.
the guy closest to you at the bar is gonna turn and real quiet like he's gonna say, "Partner, why don't you leave that sash and walk out that door before any of us decide we're gonna remember your face?
I was remembering why it got quiet.
Because if any of us get to where we think you're worth remembering, then you won't be worth remembering for long."
All right. Well, all right. It was nice meeting you guys. Can I get a name?
You already
Before I
got
go?
one. It's Tater.
All right. Well, I'll be seeing y'all around.
You better hope not.
And I walk out the door.
All right.
So we've tried using our rich boy, and he failed. Then we tried using our
Dumb
What?
boy.
what we tried using our actually what is Tater's skill set?
Pretty
That is a
His
very
fucking
good
name's
question.
Tater. What?
The skill set is being
He's
a potato.
literally potato chips.
Yeah, chips.
First name Chips, middle name Potato.
After an unsuccessful career attempting to infiltrate mobs as a informant for the police. He started a successful potato chip factory.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
no, his parents just started calling him Chips one day because they forgot what his actual name was.
So what's the skill set?
I'm good at running from things.
Can you shoot things?
I can. Stealth, fighting, shooting, athletics are all D8s.
Hmm. Is there a second floor on this bar? Like, is this just a bar, or is it like a bar and potentially a rest house for these guys?
This is just a bar.
Just the bar, no inn.
All right. So far, 2 attempts at subtlety have failed. Might I propose we all simply walk in there, I present them my demands, and we see where things go from there.
You can do that, but you
Yeah.
better be careful. It's a bar full of
I'm down.
Protestants, after all.
You got an oven door strapped to your chest?
I don't.
I mean, I can pray for your protection. That might help.
That could help. I was also hoping you would all come in with me.
Well, yes, but also prayer.
Yes, also prayers, yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to cast through my faith armor on him.
Wait, what?
I can, using my blessed abilities, manifest additional protection around you of a holy nature.
Holy shit.
Very nice.
Kind of like the armor from Assassin's Creed 4. Deflects
And
bullets.
holy shit appears on your chest.
The magical turd of bullet deflection.
Must have been Protestant armor.
Yeah.
Okay. So because that's a raise, because it's more than 8,
Mm-hmm.
for the next bit, it's like it says duration 3, so I'm guessing it's rounds. So it's like I'm doing this like as we're walking in.
Okay.
Your toughness is raised by 4. Non-magical AP cannot negate this bonus.
Okay.
All right. And Marshall and his posse, I guess, will step into the bar.
Everybody in the bar, pretty much simultaneously, you hear a loud sigh from all of them because this is the third set of interlopers who have walked in like 5 minutes. The bartender says, "Oh, Marshall, that's fancy. Fancy seeing you around these parts. You like a drink?" As several of the rest of those men start to make their way away from you along the bar towards the back, where there is a like an exterior door that clearly leads out into the alley.
Oh, if there's an exterior door, I would have gone there and waited if we were pushing. I wouldn't like if I've gone in there and seen that there was an exterior to the back. I would have gone back there and waited like on a rooftop. or
That's
something.
fine. If you want to, I mean, there's not behind the building is like a back street, and there are some houses across the road, and like a bunch of outhouses. So I mean, it's really not an alley so much as a fairly quiet street.
There's somewhere I could climb up and get a vantage point on the rooftop with a rifle.
I mean, if you wanted to climb on the roof of the building or something, you could attempt that. There's not, other than the actual stores here, there's not really anything to climb on. There's not, unless you want to climb on an outhouse behind the place. I don't think that's gonna work.
It wouldn't be terribly comfortable, no. Well, even a house across the street, I would happily climb up onto.
I don't know that the residents would happily accommodate you. I think you would probably be aware that that would be frowned upon to be armed and on their roof.
Then I'll just go on the rooftop of the bar.
Okay. Um, let's just make like an athletics check, I guess.
Can I use rope to assist me in any way?
So, in front of the bar, you're just gonna haul up a rope and toss it over and start climbing.
No, I'd go to the back. And then climb up, if that's possible.
I mean, yeah, let's see, it's kind of a long way around. So, for you to make, like, you have time, I think, to go from the front. You'd make a scene, but you could do it. I don't think you have time to walk around the whole bar. And then
Well, let's say
also
I started when Potato went in. I started walking around. In anticipation of like following them out the back door or something. Not expecting combat, but
I mean, sure.
Okay.
You reach the back of the building, and there is a man standing at the back door.
what's it doing?
He's standing next to the back door of the bar, wearing a purple sash.
Okay. Do I from a distance can I recognize him as somebody that was inside recently, or does he appear that he's been out here the whole time and I don't recognize his outfit?
Yeah, his outfit is not familiar, other than the purple sash.
Okay. So he wouldn't have recognized me as the annoying rich kid that came in earlier. Gotcha. Well, then I'll just casually walk past. Once I
He
see him.
probably heard the piano playing and the laughter, but no, he wouldn't know who you are.
Okay, yeah, then I'll just casually walk past, give him a nod, and keep on going, and then I'll look for cover up the street somewhere that I can get a vantage point of the back entrance. No longer trying to
Mm.
climb onto the roof, as it's not available.
All right. He's whistling a little tune, but he does not nod at you. He kind of just stops whistling as you walk past and then starts whistling again once you get away. And then what are you doing? I'm sorry.
Going to like medium range.
Okay.
And taking cover. And just keeping an eye on that back door. And that'll be it.
All right. Yeah, you can kind of go around just out of sight behind the meat market. There's a like a pig pen, and you can kind of get where they can't see you anymore. You're out of sight, but you could take one step and be at medium range.
Okay.
Okay.
There I'll be.
All right.
Alrighty. You
Sorry, I
said
didn't know there was a back door.
you said some of these guys are starting to make their way like they're trying to vacate.
Yeah, all the guys that were at the tables, the guys at the bar are still looking at you. They haven't stood up yet. But the guys at the tables have all kind of, at the same time, stood up and silently started walking toward the back door.
Gentlemen, no need to vacate your seats. Not here on any kind of business that I certainly hope any of you need to be worried about as lawful, upstanding members of this good city. No, I'm here looking for someone, a Arthur Graham.
So as you're talking, they do not stop walking, and the first one has reached the door and opens it. The ones at the bar have stood up, but they have not walked away from you yet.
Out of curiosity, AGR, what are the bounds on my being allowed to commit violence?
I mean, legally speaking, you probably won't get in like a lot of trouble if you start a fight in here. But they definitely won't get in a lot of trouble for beating the hell out of you if you come in here and start a fight. Especially given that you don't see any guns on any of them. If you shoot anybody, you're probably gonna have a bad time because they all appear to be unarmed.
But if I were to say get into a good old rowdy fist fight, things would be fairly kosher.
From the law, I mean, so make a common knowledge roll.
Didn't the sheriff say these guys are all wanted?
They are all a part of a gang, but being part of a club in this town is not enough of a reason to arrest them.
Not enough probable cause.
They can't be RICO'd.
Not yet, anyway.
It'll be a while.
You guys aren't ready for this, but maybe your kids will like.
So explodey?
Yeah.
What's a 7?
All right. So you got a 7.
Yes.
What was this an attempt to do?
Common knowledge.
I mean, common
yes.
knowledge.
I'm sorry. This was me telling you about the law.
Yes.
All right. So essentially, if you start a fight, that is vaguely illegal, but not the kind of thing you would probably get into major trouble for. You might spend the night in a cell instead of a hotel. I mean, the sheriff already wants you to leave town tomorrow, so you're definitely treading thin ice. And you're very likely to get a lot of heat on the sheriff's back. So it's definitely a thing you can do, and the sheriff probably won't want to punish you for it, but you're putting him in a difficult position.
Alrighty. What are the 3 at the bar actually doing, though?
So the 4 at the tables have walked to the back of the bar, and the first of the 4 has opened the door, and he's about to walk out. So they're all almost out of the bar. The people at the bar have stood up and sort of started to step back, but they haven't really moved. It looks like they're all just going to leave. They aren't going to have anything to do with you. They're just going.
Gentlemen, if you're not willing to talk to the marshal, would you be willing to talk to me? We're simply trying to locate a wayward boy. No one wants any unpleasantness here.
So one of them will tell you to check, and I have to find the name for this establishment because I don't remember it. Say, yeah, if your boy's out this late, maybe check over at Bill's room. Maybe getting into some strange. And they continue to walk.
Okay. I thank him, and I turn to Marshall and I say, unless you truly plan on burning the place down, I think we should go see this Bill.
They said
Agreed.
Bell.
Oh, Bell. Okay. This Bell. Sorry. I thought you said Bill.
I thought he said Bill's place too. I was gonna say, so next to Bob's place, eh?
Now, Bell's Room is the name of a brothel, and you would have seen it when you came in because it's on the corner near the thoroughfare.
Alrighty.
Yes, correct.
I guess we'll leave as well. Chips. You said that you're sneaky, right?
He's got stealth. Yes.
Would you be able to track these fellows, Chip? See where they're going?
Huh? Probably. I can follow.
Please follow them covertly. I want to know where they go.
Following.
Okay,
So I guess we're splitting the party.
fair enough.
We're gonna go to the whorehouse. Chips is gonna track.
Tater is about to get chipped if he fucks this up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
At least they didn't remember your face.
Ain't nobody gonna remember his face.
They'll remember his damn name though.
Ooh, all right. Ooh. So the rest of you go to Bell's room, and Chips, you're following the gang. Well, if the marshal leaves, the gang's just gonna hang out in the alley for a few minutes and then go back in. I mean, I'm not even gonna make you roll on that because I feel like, firstly, they're really, really on to people watching them today, and I don't know that it's gonna matter because I don't think they're gonna do anything sensitive.
Yeah, considering they've had 4 strangers interact with them, and one of them being a marshal.
So y'all want me to just sit in the room, stay smoky?
Yeah, it looks like they more or less just pile back into the bar, and the doorman goes inside for a minute, and then he comes back out. Actually, a different one of the same people, but a different man goes out to the door.
Curious.
All right, so you guys make your way to Bell's room. It's a brothel on the corner. There are, I mean, you can see inside. There's a lobby with, you know, fancy furnishings. It's supposed to look upscale and inviting, and you know, it's warmly lit. And outside, there's a couple of ladies of the evening, and you see. 2 of them go inside with a fella in a purple sash, and there are still other girls out here, and one in the lobby. I mean, at least out front, you don't see any sign of Graham's boy.
You mean he hasn't become a lady of the night?
Oh, there would be hell to pay if he did.
That'd be a whooping.
That's
pay extra for that. Anywho, you're out in the street. By the way, it's snowing. It's cold.
Well, Marshall, how do you want to play this?
I'm inclined to be simply direct.
Fire, brimstone, and damnation it is, then.
Are y'all talking about Ashley or the Bible?
So it's a valid question.
Hmm?
Well, Frederick would just do as he does and see if he can get a lady up to a room.
All right. All right. So, Frederick, you're gonna walk up. There's 3 girls. 2 of them are outside. There's a girl who introduces herself, and she says, "Hey, feller, I'm B." And she goes on and details that I'm not gonna parrot, but she's clearly expressing some feigned interest in hope of making some money.
You're a redhead.
Sure.
I'm in.
All right.
Wait till
mean,
you get up to the
literally.
room first, man.
Well,
Okay.
I'll leave the marshal with my wallet and bring like $20 with me,
Okay.
just so
Well.
fun things don't happen to my wallet while we're interacting.
Yeah.
$20
Do I have my
seems
card,
like
Marshall?
a lot. What kind of freaky shit you into?
Well, I only
Well,
pay top dollar.
$20 pays for a lot of discretion.
Yeah.
All right. So Frederick disappears. What's everybody else doing? Another girl who was in the lobby before walks out and takes B's place.
We should probably speak to the head hoe in charge,
The headmistress.
the headmistress,
You mean the matron?
the matron, whatever.
That's what they're called. I knew there was a word.
Whatever they're
you
called.
You said B, so I had to go grab this one.
Yep. Graham's gonna inquire about speaking to the headmistress. Business.
The madam.
The whatever.
All right.
The matron,
That's fine as well, although
the lead lady.
okay. Yeah, so girl out front says, "Okay, all right.
Homicide.
You want the woman with the pants around here? I'll find her. Hold on." And she goes inside, disappears for a few minutes. She doesn't seem to immediately be coming back.
Okay. Patience is a virtue.
Yep, I would be asking B, casually questions about my friend. I'm assuming I would know what he looks like and stuff, being, the marshal's minion, so to speak. Would have been around a couple of times and met him.
I'm sorry. What are you asking?
Just asking casual questions about which son is it?
Arthur.
Arthur. Yeah, I'd be asking questions like about Arthur and just casually, like not interrogating.
Well,
Looking for a buddy of mine, yada yada.
What kinds of questions? Some specific examples.
Like, hey, just a buddy of mine recommended this place to me. You might know him. Like that kind of interrogation.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Okay. Do you mention the name Arthur?
I'd start by describing him because I would know what he looks like.
Okay. Make a persuasion roll. I'm not going to contest this. I don't think she's trying to fight back against it at this point. speed of 4. Yeah. She's seen a boy that was named Arthur. I mean, she's seen a couple of Arthurs around town, but one that was a young man.
Matching my description.
Yeah, he's been hanging out with them fellers, and she ain't seen him in a spell. He was in town a couple weeks ago.
Hear anything about his going-ons the last time you interacted with him? Why he might not be back in town? Something along those lines?
She basically tells you that he waited at the door while several of his acquaintances were inside. They were all laughing around, having a good time, and wouldn't let him come in.
Oh, okay. So he's their bitch. Did he have a purple sash to match them?
She says he did.
Okay. And the fellers he was with, what were they up to, or their goings on, etc.? Did they make any mentions of activities they were partaking in?
I think at that point she won't tell. I think she'll state your curiosity about the young boy, because she feels a little bit for you. You know, it's a sad story, but she ain't gonna start talking on her clients too much more than that.
At this point, I haven't procured any money out, but I do have $20 on me, so I'd produce 5 and say, well, this is for our time that we're gonna enjoy. Clearly, you're stunning, yada yada yada, flirtation, flattery. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I'll pull another $5 out and be like, and this would be for your discretion. Then I'll pull $10 out, and this will be for my last question.
Okay. You can ask one more question. You have 1 persuasion roll for that question, and you get a +2 to the roll.
All right. So just same roll with a +2.
Mm.
Yeah, it'd be the same, asking about the goings on of those individuals.
You can
that was with me.
make your roll and then form your question. You should probably pass it, I think. But it's possible you won't. And then you can come up with your 1 question, and I'll try to give a specific answer. Okay.
But yeah, the goings on of the individuals that he was with the last time you seen him. Just trying to find the boy. Good friend of mine and all.
All right. Well, she'll open up a little bit, and punny. Yeah. So she does tell you a few things. She doesn't really know much about their comings and goings. Maybe she knows more about the former than the latter. But she does know that they talk about a few things that might be relevant. They don't hole up in town. That a lot of the time they ride out, and it sounds like they talk about. Well, they compared one of the girls' assets to a certain formation called the Twin Sisters Peak. And on another occasion, one of the girls, as a matter of fact, I believe it was B. She had one of them tell her that they were going to take her up to the Lake of Glass, and talked about how pretty it was.
All right. Well, I thank you kindly for your bit of information. Now I think we should undress and forget this whole conversation.
She's way ahead of you.
Figured. Anyway, cutscene.
Yeah. All right. So what's everybody else doing?
I think they're just
Ashley's-
waiting for the.
Ashley's just waiting
Smoking.
across the street, trying not to get the wrong reputation already.
Well, she's not dressed in a way that's going to call much attention to her.
He said shirt and pants, so.
Yeah.
Well, we'll effectively have our lead.
Yeah, but you
We
don't
need
have it
only
yet.
wait. Well, still waiting for headmistress.
Yeah, you still ain't seen her. Solid 20 minutes go by.
Oh, Frederick will be back by then. No, I'm kidding.
20 minutes past. Frederick's been back for 19.
The interrogation took 59 seconds.
No, not just the interrogation and
The fun stuff.
the customs of men and women was all completed within 59 seconds.
For 1 second,
Well,
it's a load
that
screen
lady-
for fast travel.
He's the
That
fastest
lady
man
can
alive.
multitask. All right. So, yeah, 20 minutes go by. Nobody comes out.
Well, suspecting I won't be, seeing any of the of her, I'll simply head outside and wait for Frederick to finish his business.
Okay.
Yes, Frederick will finish.
13 years later.
Well, no, because he's run out of money now. He has to come out at least briefly.
He was so
How'd that
good
come
the
from my wallet?
prostitutes pay him.
I come back out for my wallet.
So bad the prostitutes pay him to leave.
Oof.
Oof.
Okay. Yeah, so a little while later, a slightly older woman comes out. She's still kind of in body dress, but it's a little less revealing than the other girls. She says, "Marshall, can I help you?"
Yes, I hope you can. And Marshall will make inquiries.
Okay. What specific inquiries do you make?
If they've seen an individual matching the description of Arthur Graham. He's gone missing. General stuff, not actually going to indicate that they're related.
Right. Well, she, basically says that a lot of boys of that age come around here. She doesn't have any specific recollection of this one. And she doesn't really feel too comfortable talking about her clients. She also mentions that having you hang around in front of her establishment is not great for her business, especially the company you're keeping. They seem to be people are a little less likely to come inside when there is a marshal and there are two men of the cloth standing directly in view, in line of sight of her establishment.
Don't forget about John Dutton.
Maybe she should have came out sooner then, huh?
Wait, hold on. So we've effectively created an economic embargo against her facility and are leveraging information with that. Oh, that's fucking
Because
great.
they're afraid of a good tutting.
The law, the cloth, and a butt ugly man with syphilis.
Yeah, so the I mean, you can actually see it. There, a man literally walks around the corner towards the building, and then he pulls a Grandpa Simpson. He sees the two reverends, and then he stops in his tracks and turns around and walks the other way down the sidewalk. Like he had his hand on the door to go inside.
Well, we'll be out of your hair shortly, but we believe the boy might have gotten in over his head with some trouble, and we're simply trying to ensure his safety. It's nothing
Alright.
against him visiting such an establishment as this. We figured simply him being a boy of his age that he might have, and so we're making inquiries.
All right, she's gonna say, "Oh, all right, gentlemen. If you insist, let's talk inside." And she'll hold the door open.
Sure, I go in.
Yep, in we go.
All right, and she's gonna walk you over to her office. It's a little corner room, and she'll open the door, and she'll walk in, and she'll stand by the door. By the way, you can definitely hear a lot of things upstairs, because I mean, all the rooms are directly above you.
Oh, I'm familiar with that sound.
As one of the sounds, Frederick going, "Ow, ow, slower, slower."
Completely irrelevant anecdote. When I was at the university, there was a individual on the female floor directly above my room. Yeah, they were kind of like that when they were engaged in the customs of men and women. And it was very obnoxious. So my roommate and I would, in the middle of them, having sex, would run up to that floor, pound on their door, and then book it back to our floor.
Well, I mean, this is like that, but way worse because it's like several rooms of it.
An entire
God
floor of it.
damn.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, you guys make it into the office. And she says, "All right, gentlemen, if you could just wait just one moment, I will be right back."
Insight check.
I don't know if that's a thing. Something like that has to be a thing. If you want to figure out what that is and roll it, that's fine.
Notice?
It would be notice, yeah.
Okay, notice.
That's the only thing that would cover that. Yeah, there is some discrepancy with how their skills are spread apart from each other.
I know. I can use persuasion. I can really quickly say, "People about to betray us." Say what? And if she says what, we'll know we're about to be betrayed.
That's why your backup is outside with 71 sticks of discount dynamite.
Gonna go Sodom and Gomorrah on this brothel.
Okay.
I didn't bring enough salt.
I mean, you get the feeling she's not excited about this talk.
I mean, honestly, who would be excited about this talk with me?
You
So
are
she-
Marshall, after all.
So she closes the door, and she walks off. You can hear her footsteps. They're pretty noisy. And you're in her office.
So who took thievery?
Me.
Oh, you're stealing something else.
Well, certainly
There's-
not this girl's virginity.
Okay. A couple of minutes go by. You hear the sounds of people in the building. There's some laughter. You hear the sound of someone going up the stairs. Some girls are giggling. You still hear the same sorts of sounds coming from upstairs, but now you actually hear a decent amount of like men and women talking downstairs when it was pretty quiet when you walked in.
Do I
Has there-
recognize these voices?
Make a notice roll.
Has there been a bunch of commotion outside at the front door?
Yeah, people are like walking in and talking to girls. There's like a row of girls downstairs, and there's men talking to them, and then going up the stairs.
How many of them have
It-
purple armbands?
None of these. There was one that went in earlier.
Alright, so it's
Because
just
the
business is
marshal's not
picking up
part of the
again.
So, Father, you do hear the matron. You recognize her voice. She's out there talking to somebody.
I don't recognize the voice she's talking to as, say, one of those guys from the bar.
No.
Okay.
I think it's just the result. The marshal and the father's not standing in front of the business anymore.
Does she have any papers on her desk?
She does not have any papers sitting out on her desk. She does have like a little blank notepad. But there's not anything on it, and she has a little like a little whiskey bottle. It's like
Can I take the top
crystal.
sheet of that notepad? Like, just
Sure.
rip it off and put it in my pocket?
Absolutely.
All right.
Good old press check.
Yeah.
Hmm?
If it's like a tear-off thing and you're writing on the top sheet, often, especially at this time period, you get to press hard on the pens or pencils to leave a mark. So it would leave an indentation on the
carries
sheet
through.
underneath it. And
Press check.
yeah, with some powder, you can usually figure out, well, just brush some powder of any kind, like sand or talcum powder onto it, and you'll be able to see what was written broadly.
Ash works pretty good too.
Good to know. Are there any clear points of egress here, AGR?
In the office, there's no windows. There's one door. There is a fairly nice desk and a like a crystal like whiskey like what was it, decanter, yeah. And there's a little tray with some shot glasses. Also crystal ashtray. And yeah, nice lamp. It's decorated to look like the rest of the place. It's very pretty. There's like a love seat against one wall.
A tripod next to it.
Yeah, there's a bookshelf. There's not really very many books. It's mostly just knickknacks.
I pull out my little pocket Bible and just start reading it.
All right. Yeah, several minutes go by. Probably like 5 or 10. And then 5 or 10 more. 5 or 10 more. And all the noise outside stops for a few minutes, and then you hear people coming down the stairs, and then you hear the door opening, and people are leaving, and people are coming in, and then more people are going up the stairs, and you hear the matron outside again. And a few more minutes pass by. And Frederick, I don't know. It's been at this point probably about an hour since you walked in there.
Still
I
going.
don't- All right.
Good
So-
God, man.
I get my money's worth. Gave her $5.
All right. How about a vigor roll?
Just flat vigor.
Yep.
All right, that's still got the wild stuff.
Yeah. Okay. You have the option of continuing, but you fatigued.
That's fine. I'm gonna be sleeping soon.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Anywho, another 10 minutes go by. So at this point, you guys have been in this office, like all by yourselves, for nearly an hour.
Something may be wrong.
Oh, she's ignoring you guys because she doesn't want to have the conversation you want to have. She got you off the front. Now she doesn't care.
Well then, the answer is very simple. The marshal's going to wait outside the office.
Okay. So you step outside, and things sort of get quiet in the room. And one of the customers kind of looks at you, and then the matron looks at you, and then all three of the girls down there look at you, and then they try to get the customer's attention, and he's not really feeling it. So he walks to the door and he gets his hat and he leaves.
He pulls a slightly longer rendition of Grandpa Simpson.
And the matron sighs. And she says, "Well, it was worth a shot." And she walks over to the office.
It was a nice shot, but we were going to have to use the restroom eventually.
And she walks into the office and grabs the piss pot. And she says, "I had thought of that."
As I'm putting the book away, I would say I don't believe the good Marshal was talking about that pot.
Wait, what room are you talking about?
She says, "Well, I've cleaned up worse, and it would be much better for business."
Probably.
The joke whizzes past the marshal's head, just like that bullet from earlier.
So she waves the marshal in to the.
I was implying you were going to shit in her desk.
How's it going?
It's going well. Really.
Alrighty.
All right. So if you walk into the office, she is in there. She will close the door and walk around to her desk, and she'll unlock one of the drawers and open it up and grab a little perfume bottle. It's also crystal, and she'll spray a little bit. She'll put it up, lock it up, and say, "Okay, what can I do for you?"
And Marshall's gonna lay down the shtick. We're looking for an individual by this name, this description, etc.
The important thing being we believe him to be in trouble.
Yes.
This isn't a matter of law insofar as he's wanted, more that he's a missing person.
Well, my heart just bleeds for him, but we don't really keep any kind of record of our customers unless they're hitting on the girls, and I mean hitting.
Like looking to set down longer lasting routes.
No, he just
No, I mean costing us money in downtime and doctor's fees.
Oh, that kind of hitting.
Records are understandably scarce, hence why we wish to talk to you rather than simply perusing a ledger. Do you have any recollection of the boy?
So, about 18. What color's his hair, Gilbert? Brown.
Brown,
How tall is he?
6 foot.
What color are his eyes?
I'll look at the mini. If it's anything like Alfred, probably blue.
Yeah, she's gonna tell you, Marshall. I'm sure your boy's very special to you, but he don't sound all that unique.
I'm aware.
You're not giving me a whole lot to go on here.
He might have gotten involved with some of the less upstanding elements in town.
Yeah, about half the young boys in this town have done similar. I might be a little dramatic, but it seems like more and more of them.
That's unfortunate. Do you happen to know where we might have this conversation with, say, one of their leaders? Who we might talk to?
Dallas won't come into town. He after they robbed the stage and they upped his bounty, he won't risk it.
Fair enough. Do you know where he tends to hole up outside of town?
Well, I know they always ride in from the north end. Nobody really wants to chase him on outside city limits. That starts to get a little dangerous.
Understandable, but we just want to talk to the man. I'm sure he can be reasoned with.
Sure are you?
The Lord protects.
Yeah. If only.
And for those instances when he doesn't, a double-barrel shotgun usually does the trick.
Now that I'd like to see. Yeah. Go ahead.
But he must have some lieutenants or the like that stay in town. Someone that can get his messages for him.
Not quite sure who that would be these days. About the time I usually get to know one of them, they get their name on a board and then I never see them again. He seems to cycle through people, so he's got fresh faces in town.
And is there any up-and-coming youngsters that have caught your eye from this gang that might be headed that direction?
All right, that one's worth a persuasion roll. Yeah. And she'll say, well, they put his name up on the board few days ago, so I don't think we'll be seeing him again. Beginning of the week, I saw a boy named Randall. He came up here, and he made some arrangements to see some of the girls. And I don't know if this will help you. Hold on. And she'll open up her desk and she'll rifle around in that same little cubby. And she'll say, shoot, I don't have it. They gave us some directions to a cabin. And she'll pull the drawer all the way out and reach all the way to the back of it. They got a cabin somewhere. I really try not to. I don't want to know these things, but damn, I don't see it. And she'll kind of give up. She'll pull all the items out of the drawer, and it will be empty. And she'll say, I really do apologize.
It's all right.
I don't know if it's their hideout or it's just where they wanted them to meet the girls. But we never really did do that. I just don't feel comfortable sending them
Also
out into the
understandable.
wilderness.
But you've been more than helpful. Thank you for your time. Now I stand up. Is there
All right.
perchance a rear entrance you would prefer us to leave by?
Right out the door and to your left, right under the stairs. Thank you, gentlemen.
Have a good evening. And I start to leave. I hope the marshal's coming with me, because I'm leaving him
Oh.
behind if I don't.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the marshal's coming with.
Well, that
And
was
then-
informative.
Indeed, it was. Now we just need to wait for somebody to finish.
Yeah, Frederick could probably come down the stairs, hooting and hollering, all giddy. Looks a little tired, but big old smile on his face.
And
Sweet.
that's how you know he finished.
So we're not taking my plan to finish it for him.
All right. So you guys all meet up outside.
I assume we swap our information.
Seems reasonable.
Which means that we need to go north into the mountains towards Twin Sisters Peak.
Yep, I'm looking for the Lake of Glass.
So we should get our horses and head that way.
Okay.
Call
Well-
it a night. It's late.
For me, it is late. Depending on what you guys want to do, that's fine. I was planning to stretch it out a little longer. I don't think we have time.
Oh, I meant
But-
in the city. Call it a night and start in the morning. I
Okay.
meant that in character.
But if you want to end it here, here's a good spot to end it. We can always pick this up at a later time.
I should do that, but it's also annoying to find the time to start. So I am willing to stretch it out a while. I will leave it up to you, gentlemen.
I'm pretty certain if we put our minds to it, we can speed a run. Especially now that we've probably gotten the bulk of the persuading out of the way.
Time for the shooting.
Time to purge the mountain.
Yeah, so take a rest in the city, set out in the morning.
Sounds right to me.
Because we don't really know how far away.
By the way, coming back out after being in the warm for a little bit, it's like biting cold out here. I mean, it's snowing, but the wind's picking up too.
Well, probably make our way to the docile that the sheriff recommended.
All right. So it's a hotel. They have rooms. They're not free. But they probably have enough rooms for everybody, although
7 rooms.
I think
Although
they
we could
probably,
bunk.
yeah, I think they've probably only got, I'm going to say they have 4 rooms. Between those, 6 beds.
Alrighty, sounds like one group's head to foot. Alright, let's rest.
How much are the
Oh.
rooms?
I don't know. I don't feel like looking at it.
All right.
So we rest.
So you rest.
Low class hotel.
So morning comes around. I mean, it's sort of, I mean, it's probably not the nicest place in town, like the actually wealthy folks. It's nice for kind of the middle class folks.
Yeah, that doesn't have a low class. It's low class or high class or a boarding house.
Yeah,
See all they have for. So yeah, just low class.
pretty much.
All right, $2.
Okay,
$8. Done.
perfect. Yeah. So they don't include a breakfast, but they do have coffee.
Probably get breakfast at a restaurant real quick and then set out.
Down the coffee, acquire food, ride.
All right. While you guys are eating, the sheriff will walk in and he's just going to gently remind you, without stating it outright, when you in town, it's a shame to see you leave so early, but I understand. Good luck finding your son. It's a pleasure meeting you. And then he's going to leave.
Pleasure meeting you too, Sheriff. Hopefully, if we ever meet again, it's under more pleasant circumstances. Then we ride.
All right. So you know the name of a landmark. You don't have a whole lot else to go on other than north. And you're right.
Isn't
next
Chips
to-
local?
Huh?
Isn't Chips local?
That's fair. Chips is a local.
So we give him the name of the landmark. He should know where it is.
A
Lovely.
general knowledge roll.
Pie, common knowledge.
He's not pie. He's chips. Totally different
Chips.
food.
I could make pie.
They
out
are
of chip.
actually very different things.
I could make chips out of pie. Maybe. That'd be a little bit harder though.
Hey, Chips, you alive?
What's the? Yeah, I'm alive. Sorry. Oh, common knowledge, common knowledge.
Do we want to get any provisions, items, objects, etc. before we leave town?
I don't know. Do they have maps of the area?
Yeah, look for the local prospector 104.
Kind of government office where you could look at a map of the town, but they probably don't have any like detailed survey maps for you. I mean, yeah, you've heard of Twin Sisters Peak before. I mean, you're in the mountain range here. It's one of many.
So there's no surveyor's office here at all in the city of Denver, Colorado.
Well, I certainly don't have a surveyor's map to give you, but sure, you can try to find the surveyor, but I can't guarantee you will find it quickly, and you are supposed to leave town, like now.
Yeah. We're leaving today, as we promised.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
To the north. Chip has an idea where we're going.
Okay. So you head north, out of town.
Yep.
All right. Well, you follow the main road up a way. I mean, it's just kind of snowed in ranches, bunch of barns. I mean, you can hear all the animals are cooped up for the winter. It's still pretty cold. It's a little warmer than last night, but not by much. It's still cold enough. It's snowing. I mean, right now it's real light.
I assume we all have at least basic winter gear.
Yeah.
I mean, did you buy any winter gear?
Well, we're
Chips-
traveling in
Chips
December.
lives here, so
I'm sure I have like a woolen smock or whatever it is, that black vest thing that priests wear.
I mean, we could always.
I think
stop at
I
the-
think we can assume that you purchased something. That is fine.
Let's say they don't, as far as I can tell, have warm weather gear in the book anywhere.
I think there's
Oh,
some
winter
somewhere,
coat.
but
Yeah, winter
yeah.
coat, $15.
yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. Everybody has winter coats. It's expensive, but we got them.
Great.
All right. So, yeah, you follow the road north. Let's see. About how far would that be? I mean, I guess you could pretty much ride the whole day before you get to any major branches in the road. So yeah, you ride for I guess 8 hours. That's a solid 30 miles. It's still, I mean, it's pretty sparse now. There's a lot more kind of woods and you pass by a stream, and I mean, you can see the mountains. Your west, northwest. I mean, the whole range is that way. It's pretty much mountains as far as the eye can see. But dead in front of you, it's flat for quite a ways. It looks like you guys are kind of moving parallel to the Rockies.
Well, onwards we keep going.
I mean, like I said, you've gone most of the day. It's just been more or less a straight trek because the road are pretty much all little offshoots into like that. You know that they'll take you onto a ranch. So a lot of decision making to make. It's a fairly easy process, other than the cold. Nope. Welcome back.
I brought him back. Don't tell him.
Okay.
Well,
but
even
but your horses
there's-
are spent after the 8 hours.
there is no tent, otherwise I would have bought some. Stop and ask a rancher if we can stay in the barn.
All right. Absolutely. Why don't you make a persuasion roll?
May I?
Whichever one of you.
He's better at it.
Ranchers are generally a little suspicious of people moseying on to -1. Marshall,
Two priests and a marshal.
fair. You can have a flat roll.
2 priests and a marshal?
Yes, very suspicious.
Still
Sounds like the start of a
barely
bad
works. And he says, all right, y'all can stay in the barn. You just keep for my daughters.
It just occurs to me I'm the only married man here, other than him.
Frederick would be like, well, I'd never.
Bullshit.
And I'm locking the barn.
Makes sense.
A
That's fair.
completely justifiable decision.
There a hay hatch on the barn?
He puts 2 cows in front of it.
Oft.
Would it be possible for me to get a separate room?
Okay, you make a persuasion roll and you get a +1.
Five. Oh wait, no, that's 3. I'm gonna. Yeah, fuck it. I'll keep
What?
it.
Why is it 3?
Because I forgot keep higher one. They were both 2s.
Okay. Okay. Oof. Well, he was generally inclined, but you're kind of dirty. So he's gonna say, well, no, I think we're full up. I'm sorry. You can you can either sleep in the barn, or well, I mean, I guess I got a tool shed.
That will suffice, thank you.
I don't know if you got room to stretch out in there, but you know, All right.
Sleep we do.
And if we rest, then when we wake up, we ride.
Pretty much.
As long as nobody's doing nothing really, really, really dumb in the middle of the night, I think we'll proceed.
No, I got locked in the barn. I can't do anything dumb.
Well, I mean, upstairs where the hayloft is, there is a window because there's a winch so you can put bales of hay up there. So I mean, you could get out.
The barn is locked. You can't escape.
The marshal would just like not let me go up the ladder. Well, actually, we'd probably be up there, but the marshal would just like, nah, get back to your sleeping roll.
The marshal sleeps at the top of the ladder.
Well, in a barn, you'd actually sleep in the hayloft, because
Yeah.
that's where the warmth would be. But you
Go
would
do
sleep
that.
in front of the loft hatch.
All right.
Don't need no trouble here, you idiot.
You make it through the night without incurring the farmer's ire, and he lets everybody out. And yeah, you're free to go.
We ride.
Okay. Let's see. You ride for about 2 hours before you hit a fork in the road. I believe that's at Hall's Ranch. And you need to keep going north, or you could bear northwest. And it looks like it goes more west than northwest after a little ways, because it sort of circles off, and you can't see.
What's the weather like today?
Well, the snow stopped, but it's even colder.
Windy or?
Is biting wind, and it's very cloudy. It's not very bright out, but the snow has stopped at the moment.
Oh, we can always ask this feller which way the rougher looking crowd travels to narrow it down.
Or we just ask him where Twin Sisters Peak is.
I suppose that would probably be a better choice. What'd you say the name was? Was it Hall or Paul?
Or a hallway.
Okay. So Hall Ranch. Well, let's find a good Mr. Hall and ask around.
So you're stepping onto another rancher's property. This time he's out and about, mending fences. So he asks, well, what can I do you for?
We're attempting to find our way to Twin Sisters Peak. Would you be able to direct me, sir?
You notice that he looks at all of you for like a moment, and he doesn't look at your faces. You know, he's kind of looking like torso height at everybody. I don't know if he's just sizing you up or what. And he says, well, it's let's see. You're gonna take this left here. And you're gonna head up. Hold on one second while I get my notes. So he's gonna say, all right, now you follow the trail till you hit the edge of my property here, and the road's gonna end. All right, now y'all might have a time of it now, but you're gonna try and find where the trail back up that mountain starts. Now, there should be a little bitty foot trail with all the snow, I don't know that you're gonna be able to spot it. Uh, but I ain't been maintaining them. I don't really know who put them up. Uh, so I don't know what state they're gonna be in. But you hit that trail, as long as you can follow it, it ought to take you up up that direction pretty close. And Twin Sisters Peak is pretty easy to spot once you get over to it because it's, well, it's shaped like, and then he makes a hand motion like he's.
Thank you kindly, sir. We ride.
Onward.
Continue the riding montage.
You keep going all the way till you hit the edge of the property. That takes you, oh, about an hour. And yeah, just as he said, the road ends, and there's a little creek just along the edge of the property here where the end of the road is, and past you, just a lot of white and green.
Chips, you said you could find stuff, right?
I have stealth. I am very good at running away from things.
Hmm. Okay, so we need to find the trail. Can anyone find things?
I don't even notice my boots if they're on.
I'm okay at it. I'm not great though.
What are you talking about? I don't even have pants.
Here,
What are we trying to find?
The
We're
trail.
trying to find the trail.
I haven't noticed. Is that what we're looking for? 6. I have a D6. So
I'm sitting at a D8. Do you have
I
anyone
mean,
with a
you're better
D10?
than me.
I think the marshal's the best at it.
I think so
All right.
too.
all right,
I will
See if you
use
can-
my martial powers.
okay.
Use a superiority die. Oh wait, wrong name.
Perfect. So you look around up and down the edge of the creek, and it's not right along the edge of the, like, it's not right by the road. You have to kind of walk along the creek for a minute or two before you find it. But there's there's what looks like a broken fence post on the other side of the creek. And you know, it's odd. Uh, it's pretty clear that that's supposed to be a marker for some kind of trail, although, I mean, the trail itself is buried in snow.
Well, I think that'd be the thing we need.
Indeed.
How deep the creek look?
Have to get your ankles wet.
Okay, so the horses would be able to go over it, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some deeper spots, but for the most part, it's kind of wide and shallow.
I think we'll just cross and see where this marker leads us.
All right.
He said it was a foot trail, so it would, kind of stand out from the surrounding brush with the freshly fallen snow.
I mean, it's not well maintained, so there's not always a clear line. But right now, yes, you can kind of make out, but no bushes sticking out of it. And you can kind of see how that kind of snakes along a little ways until you get, a few trees in, and then it's kind of hard to tell.
We ride.
Okay. So you started a little ways. Yeah, snow's kind of deep, so it's not the fastest thing, and this isn't great terrain for your horses. So speed out of them.
You cut
So
off
y-
between so and speed.
I said you're not getting the full movement speed out of them. They can't really, do that. They can barely trot. I mean, they're really just kind of walking here, and they get caught up in the branches here and there too. So, uh, this is kind of slow going. As a matter of fact, can I get riding checks? Whoever's in the lead should make a riding check
Probably me.
because you're the
Occasionally.
whoever's in the lead is the one who has to kind of forge the path that the other horses are following, and they're the one getting all the branches in the face, and their horse is the one getting all the branches in the face. So
Does anyone here have something bigger than a D6?
Match you.
All right. Do you want to do it or do you want me to?
I could roll it.
All right.
Makes sense. You put the idiot with the quick draw in the front.
You didn't get to old age by being stupid.
That's fair. And I almost didn't, because I stupidly trust McYorkle.
Hey, that's where we got the map from. The McYorgle Institute.
All right. I got a 5 on my riding.
Oh no. Graham's old and grumbling.
well, oh, you both rolled.
What?
They both got 5s.
Is the
No, that
958
was
also riding?
that was his persuasion.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So okay, you're taking point. 5 is okay. It's totally fine. I mean, this is still slow going. Calm. This is not. This is you're not getting a situation where your horse just refuses to continue, because your horse is definitely getting annoyed. But yeah, he proceeds, and you keep this up all the way until. I mean, if you're going to continue all the way until the end of the day, when your horses all get kind of tired, and it's starting to get dark. It's probably only like 6:30.
Dusk is setting in.
Yeah.
Well, mark the trail, get off the trail, and set a camp.
I'll be right back.
Indeed, we set up camp.
Camp. Do you set up a campfire?
If we're in Hilland, is there any like we're in lowland hills, right?
You are taking a wooded trail up into a mountain range. So you're kind of you're taking the low and easy route up into the mountains. So this is pretty much the gentlest possible slope, but the terrain upward climb through the woods. It's
I was just asking if there's hills and crags nearby.
not
Somewhere we could set a
Not
fire
really.
that wouldn't be immediately visible from the up on the
I mean-
edge of a mountain.
You are up. So really most of what you see is woods, and then there are a couple of little outcroppings a ways off the path. Getting your horses over to them in this terrain might not be easy
I'm
because
back.
there's nothing cleared under their feet.
I go to bed now. Bye bye.
Okay, bye. He was not even here for most of it.
I heard everything. I had my headset on.
That's good. You
But I
you
go
don't
now.
you didn't get to participate, but that's okay.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Case. All right. Well, if there's not a spot that's, concealed from the path that we can get the horses to, then I wouldn't recommend setting a fire.
I
How
mean,
cold
pretty
is
much,
it?
Well, to get a rough sense, during the day, you know that it's cold. It's actually really uncomfortable, but not dangerous cold. You know once dark sets in, it's going to be dangerous.
How about we set a fire so we don't all die?
Yep.
I mean, it's gonna be like, oh, I don't remember what the. I looked up Colorado winter temperatures, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be
Freezing weather. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
it's-
light a fire. Yeah, we're lighting a fire.
yeah, I believe cold there on page 122 of the handbook.
Indeed.
It,
Fire
uh,
light.
Okay, so you light a fire.
How long did that guy say that this trip was supposed to be?
He didn't.
I'm pretty sure that he was looking for a purple armband. And when he saw a marshal and no purple armband, he gave us bad directions. If it's taking this long and they supposedly make this trip regularly during the winter.
Goddamn. Yep. Let's camp here. And then we'll try to find the right route.
Well, if that's the case, then I don't see any reason to not to build a big fire.
It is also just possible that he forgot to mention that it's going to take several days.
Nah, he was looking midsection on us. He was looking for an armband. He's on payroll.
I'm missing some dialogue while my Discord does a weird thing.
We're
What?
chit-chatting about whether the guy is on payroll or not and just sent us on a goose chase.
Okay, my Discord restarted, and now it just says, "Did you know?" on across the whole screen.
Can you hear us? We can hear you.
Yes, I can, and apparently keying up is working, but I can't see anything in Discord.
Maybe force close, come back in.
I was going to try to minimize it first and see if it was just like a graphical thing, and it didn't work, so I'll be right back.
Sounds good. See you in a sec.
Okay.
Hello.
Anywho,
Welcome back.
So we're gonna kill our way through the rancher, right?
let me do what you want. Okay. So you do light a fire.
Big fire.
Yep. I feel like that's probably going to continue, like, keep you from all dying. So I'm not going to make anybody make any rolls. Is there a survival or something? You guys have matches. You're not going to have a hugely difficult time. I feel like y'all will be all right.
There is a survival, but yeah,
You
we have
have a
matches
lot
and
of
an abundance of wood.
yeah. I think it's fine. Okay. So dawn breaks and you guys have melted out a nice little hole in this trail, and you can see there is a trail under here. Yeah.
Since we got
There,
it
wait,
melted,
there is a trail here?
I mean, you knew there was a trail anyway because it was a break in all the brush, but you can actually physically kind of see that, at some point somebody has really gone over this and like tracked over it multiple times. So there's not any little growth, just kind of across the middle of this. Or very, very little.
yeah, it's hard pack.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
Do you want to continue down this path then?
Yep.
I mean, what's the worst? We get to the top of the mountain, nobody's there.
Yeah, I'm also trying to like make sure that we keep moving. That way we can
Time-wise, yeah.
try to get stuff done before AJR gets too sleepy.
Okay. Yeah, so you proceed. Now, as you're proceeding through this day, I feel like you're probably only going to make it a little ways, maybe 5 miles before you're going to realize this is starting to get too difficult for your horses. It's
dense.
getting steep. The snow is really deep. It looks like sometime during the night, some snow like fell. There was a little avalanche. Nothing huge, but it's enough that it's kind of like the snow is almost chest height to a portion of this.
I.e., the DM says don't go this way.
I mean, that's where the trail is, but it does look like you're not going to be able to get your horses to go that way.
Well, that doesn't make sense. These guys would have horses, so wherever we need to find them, they would have horses with them.
I mean, can we see mountains here that match the description? I mean, the mountain would have to be recognizable to be used as a landmark.
Well, why don't you go ahead and make a notice roll? Or is that a is there another one? That's right? Notice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of a perception check.
So, all right. Where you're at on the trail, you appear to be directly south of a mountain peak that well, it's not really a mountain peak, right? It looks like it's gonna be one mountain peak, and then it actually is two mountain peaks, right? It's like two hills on the top of this this peak.
Nice, smooth,
Yeah, very round.
succulent looking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, quick. Okay, quit getting hard at the rock. Onward along the path. We have to leave our horses. Let's leave them.
Horse will remember this.
Look, you're the one that said the horses can't keep going.
I just want you to know your horse is not going to be happy about this.
Fuck it. Take the horse then.
Is there a way
Your horse
around?
physically can't go up there unless you're going to carry them.
Okay, well then I apologize to Mr. Ed that I can't take him with on the Daring Rescue. And then
Oh.
I push on.
Okay. Is
Um,
everybody doing that? Ashley, what
Sure.
do you-
Go ahead, Ashley.
These guys have been riding horses into town, right? Someone mentioned that.
Yes, they have mentioned that they ride horses into town.
They probably have somewhere to keep the horses, either around their camp or at one of the ranches. Does someone want to look around for a stables or something?
I was gonna say, yeah, we're going up in elevation this entire time, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not the
well-
entire time, but since you got onto the
Yes.
trail,
Yeah,
like
since we
past
left
the range.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, I started moving up the trail. Okay. I'll hand the marshal the binoculars and be like, "Well, what do you see?" Because I have binoculars.
Beautiful.
What do my lawful eyes behold?
Okay.
How do binoculars affect my roll?
That's his discretion. The scope just gives a +2 or negates 2. Let me find the damn thing.
So from the trail, there's very little you're going to be able to see, regardless of binoculars, just because there's a lot of dense foliage. You're kind of snow blind, and like it's bad winter weather conditions. I mean, you're literally surrounded by evergreens in the low between mountains. You're higher than you were, but you'd have to get above the trees next to you to see, like, down the slope.
Well, I mean, we do have a solution for removing some of the trees. We don't have to go up the
And
trees.
causing
we
an
can just-
avalanche. Or something. Like,
No, let him go. Let him finish what he was thinking.
I totally want to try it.
don't.
There's already an avalanche in front of us, so there can't be more avalanche right here.
Objectively false.
Clearly, that's how avalanches work. They're a one-time use thing.
This isn't real life. This is magical fantasy RPG world.
There is there is a clean spot on either side of this kind of narrow part in the path that was caved in with the avalanche. I mean, you are unlikely to get buried alive by any snow coming down from those locations. Now, whether it's possible a large enough avalanche from far enough away could cause you harm, well, that might be possible, but there's a lot of trees in between you and that amount of snow.
The biggest thing is we're in an evergreen forest. If we were on like a skiing hill, yes, an avalanche would be fucking a shit show. But we're in a wooded area, so
Now, how about I just climb a tree?
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna climb a tree. I'm gonna use some
Okay.
rope.
have at her. I got 40
Alright.
yards of rope.
Make sure I
make
tie
an
myself
athletics.
off. That way, if I fall, I catch myself.
Yeah. I mean, it takes you a good 20 minutes to get to a part of the tree high enough up that you have like clear line of sight down the hill. But you're up.
What with the binoculars? What do I see?
What do your elfin eyes see?
Yes.
Elden eyes.
So looking down the hill, there's a lot of woods and a lot of snow, and far enough down, you can kind of see a break where the woods stop, and then you can almost kind of see the top of that rancher's house. And you can see the road. And, it's very snowy. You see some smoke billowing out of the chimney. You can also see that the clouds that way are really dark. And that everything just a little past the rancher's house is like all the same kind of color of gray. There's very, very little sun coming in, and everything's a very dark gray, and it's very fuzzy looking.
Can that ranch see the peaks?
You would probably say that the answer is yes, but it would also be mixed among a lot of other peaks. Because there's the one that was the landmark it's pretty obvious this is it from here, but from there it wouldn't look like two peaks. It would look like one, and it's surrounded by other mountain peaks.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that there's, in fact, no secret base out here, just a ranch.
I'm telling you that from the ranch, this peak would look like one peak.
Right. But, like, looking around here with the binoculars, I don't see any other kind of inhabited location in any direction.
Well, I mean, you were looking downhill. Looking uphill?
Yes, like I'm looking all around with these binoculars.
Okay. I mean, to your north is that peak, and it looks like there's sort of a dip to the west of that peak, and then there's another mountain peak, and you're kind of traveling on this trail that's sort of between them. And other than woods, it's hard to see anything too much further out. Like it looks like the elevation stops going up a little ways off, but it's probably a couple hours walk.
How long would it take to get back to the ranch before the snowstorm hits?
Well, you rode most of the day from the ranch, but not quite the whole day. So you could probably get there before dark, but beating that snowstorm, that one's hard to say.
All right, guys, double time it back.
I agree.
We double time it back.
Okay. So we got Frederick leading the way again?
Probably.
Okay. Go ahead and make another riding check. You've already kind of cleared the branches out of your way, so this isn't going to be any kind of incredibly difficult. I mean, it's not pleasant, but it's not as bad as it was going up.
So am I getting a plus with that, or is it still the same roll?
It is a didn't you have a minus from something from having all the branches in your way before? Because I don't remember it being a flat roll.
I rolled flat. 820.
Hmm. Okay, you can have a +1.
I just rolled high. I rolled the
Okay.
same.
You lead the way down the hill, and you approach the ranch. You hit the creek, and the creek is starting to ice over. You hear that little crunch as all that water on the surface breaks away under hooves. And yeah, it's at least another hour to get across the property from the back to the front. Yeah, at least if you're trying to go around to the front gate. I mean, I don't know if you want to try to hop the fence.
If he was spending time mending the fence, I think we'll just go to the gate.
Okay. I mean, at this point, you can tell the blizzard's is right there. You're getting hit with flurries pretty hard. The wind is biting, but you're not in it. The house is almost in it when you get to the front gate. Like it's right about to roll over.
Distance?
I mean, you're like a 5-minute walk from the front door, but your horses are all out here. All your gear's out here. The farmer's not out here, or the rancher's not out here.
Oh, I'd ride right up to the house.
Yeah.
Okay. You ride up to the house. You can tell that the shutters are closed, and I mean, you can see there's lights on. You can see that the chimney's lit. There's no one outside.
Chips, do me a favor. Can you get eyes on the inside? They're like try looking through a shutter or something. Tell me if you see anyone with a purple armband.
Let's hope he's here. His time has come.
Potato. Pie.
This is how these things go. You don't get to roll all night, and then when the time comes, you're not here.
What are we rolling?
Stealth.
Stealth?
Stealth.
If Chips is here, yeah, he's rolling stealth.
D10.
Do you know what you're sneaking around doing?
Something in the house.
Somebody want to get him up to speed?
Yes, we're at the house. We suspect this might be where the criminals are. We need you to poke around the outside and see if there's anyone in there with the purple armband.
No, they're not here. He said from your vantage point, from the ranch, you can't see that it's actually Twin Peaks. You can only see a single.
Yeah, I know, but I want to be certain.
So would it be that same roll that Marshall Graham made at 8:48 or 9:48? If it's a D10.
I suppose it would. Yeah.
It's way easier to copy them.
Oh yeah, copy paste. Ooh.
I have them all written out on my sheet, so I can just copy paste each of the ones that I need.
Okay. So, you peer inside, and at first you don't see anything, and then somebody crosses by right in front of the window. They're so close you can't really make them out. And then after you kind of adjust your vision a little bit so you can see further into the room, you see a figure walk across the room, lighting candles in his hands and setting them around. There's it looks like there's like a couch in the middle of the room, and you can vaguely hear what sounds like a couple of female voices. Maybe a woman and a young girl.
So I sneak out, or I go out, walk away from the window, and I specifically point at Frederick and say, "You're up."
Why am I up?
Women. Women.
They're married.
I don't care. Women.
You want
Well,
me
there's
to
a man
handle
in
this?
there.
There it is. I only heard two female voices.
I mean, you saw somebody who was a third party lighting candles.
I'll go knock on the
Oh.
door.
It's a husband, a wife, and a younger daughter. Is there structures on this ranch? I would imagine there's a barn of some kind.
Yeah, there's more than one building, right? There's like a barn and then like a long stable building. And there are like various sheds. Tool and supply sheds and
Yep.
things of that nature.
Yeah, because you only said the house so far, and I'm like, what kind of respectful ranch you don't have a barn or a stable or
Right.
anything?
Well,
So Sleuth said he was approaching the building?
Yeah, I'm gonna go knock on the door.
Okay.
Hand the horse's reins to Alfred.
Ah, yes, give the fire ship to the marshal.
Yeah.
Marshall
I'm
goes,
waiting to take notice of where that fucking dynamite card is.
takes a look at the saddlebags. Face goes paler than the blizzard around him.
I know, right?
All right, so Ashley's knocking on the door.
Okay. Ashley knocks on the door.
I guess I'll just be
The
within
blizzard
earshot.
is getting closer.
That's why we're knocking on the door.
I take it there's no response after like 20 seconds.
Correct.
I'll try and open the door, see if it's locked.
Okay. You jiggle the handle. The door is locked. You do hear, and it's hard over the wind, but you do hear some footsteps. Sounds like somebody moving up or down some stairs.
They were on the main floor before, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, try again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna knock louder.
Okay.
Yell, "Excuse me, is anyone home?"
Okay. It's still no immediate response. Yeah, the wind's really kind of whipping the snow in like onto the porch now, and it's almost going sideways.
All right, they're taking too long. I'm gonna try and pick the lock.
Wait, is the door locked?
Yes.
Wellness check. I have probable cause.
Okay, you're gonna try to force the door.
I'm trying to pick the lock. I'm not sure if Alfred is trying to kick the lock down.
Oh, no. I'm gonna let Ashley do her thing.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Before you attempt to pick the lock, why don't you go ahead and make a it's sneak or a stealth or whatever they call it. Roll.
Okay, one. I'm
Okay.
gonna spend one of our bennies and reroll
Okay.
the whole thing.
Acceptable.
I completely forgot about those.
Yeah. All right.
Three.
You still fail. You hear a loud voice saying, "Get the hell away from the door."
We need shelter for the storm.
I wasn't asking. And you do hear stomping again on the stairs, it sounds like.
I'll just look to the marshal.
U.S. Marshal!
The door swings open. There is a man standing on the other side of it with the shotgun leveled at Ashley, who is the person who I think was first at the door.
Yep.
With the marshal, like, right nearby.
Yeah. You say, he's going to say, "If it weren't for the damn storm, I wouldn't be letting you in my damn house. Step over there and stay where I can see you."
Perfectly understandable.
Close the
Yeah,
door. I
please
got
come
my
in.
hands full.
We do as instructed.
How far is it from the house to the barn?
Probably, I don't know, couple minutes walk. Not, it's only like 5 minutes walk to the front gate. So probably half that. It's probably like a 3-minute walk. I mean, when you're not
That
in.
far away from the house?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Frederick's going to gather up the horses and take them to the barn. I'm not going to leave my horse out in the cold.
Well, the barn's locked. You would probably know that without going over there.
Yeah. Still going to take my horse to the barn.
So everybody's walking in, and you're not walking in. You're going to the barn.
Yep. I'm grabbing everybody's reins and taking the horses with me and going to the barn.
Okay.
I'll let the man of the house know that he's doing that.
He said, "Close the door." Do you close the door?
We close the door.
Okay.
He did tell us to close the door.
Okay. You say, "The barn's locked." And by the way, I mean, not that it matters, more or less equivalent. There's a barn and a stable, and the stable also would be locked.
Well, if there's a stable, then yeah, I'd probably take the horses there. Is that closer?
Yeah. I mean, slightly. Still
Well,
probably.
slightly's better than not.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I don't know. The way I envisioned it, I think it's in the direction that the snow is coming from.
That's fine.
Okay.
A little cold ain't gonna bother me. I'm a young kid.
All right.
All right. So I can successfully get to the locked stable.
Yeah, you make it to the stable. You can hear horses in there because they are not happy.
Couldn't imagine why. All right. Well, I'll unlock it.
Okay, how are you unlocking it?
Thievery skill and lockpicks.
Okay. Go ahead and try. Your hands are like numb. So I'm gonna you are wearing some cold weather gear, so I'm gonna not make this a -2. But it's a -1.
Okay, and the lockpicks don't help me at all. Like that's not a addition to using an actual tool designed for the job.
I don't know. It should say that on the lockpicks if you purchase them, right?
It doesn't say any information with them. They're just lock picks $5.
I
But I'd
mean,
imagine it make opening
I
a
mean,
lock a lot easier.
having nothing would make it impossible. Having
Yeah.
having a not very good tool would probably be a malice, and then having the proper tool would probably be a flat roll.
So you said -1 for the weather?
Yes. Okay.
Might want to
Um,
use a Benny.
So you drop one of your picks in the snow.
Ruffles, you
I'm
have a
gonna use a
Benny. you
Benny.
can use.
I'm going to use a Benny.
That
on
is
roll.
perfectly acceptable. Okay. So, with your second pick, I assume you have more than one in your set.
Isn't a Benny just a reroll?
Let's not worry about that. With your second pick in your pick set, you pick the lock. Yes? And then you open the door. When you walk in, you kick a bunch of snow into the stable, and it appears your lockpick landed on your foot. So it is in there.
All right. Well, I'll retrieve it. And, is there empty stable stalls, or are they all pretty full? Depends on what kind of rancher.
There are a lot of horses in here. It looks like there are 5 empty stalls.
All right, I'll put the marshal and my horse together, and then everybody else is gonna have their own. And then I'll make my way back in through the blizzard.
Okay. There's an important detail I'm not hearing.
Am I relocking the thing? I'm not sure what detail you're looking for. Do you want me to close the shed and relock it? Yeah, because I would. Wouldn't let snow in there. If
Okay.
that's what you're looking for.
Well, I can't tell you, but yes. It was relevant whether or not you remembered to close the door. It is very cold, and you might not be thinking very straight.
Yeah, no, I would not let snow into the building with all of the animals that I just, I wouldn't want Sunshine to get cold. So I'd make sure the
Okay.
door's closed behind myself so that she stays warm.
Okay, so while this is happening, the rest of you are all in the house, and there's no longer anybody in the living room, and so the rancher just sort of motions towards the couch and tells all of you to have a seat around the fire.
Okie dokie.
And just to stay where he can see you.
Okie dokie.
And he walks over toward the kitchen where they got the oven going, so he can stay warm while staying a little further from you. And he just sort of sits there in the archway, with his gun, not like trained directly on anybody, but also not pointed at the floor.
Understandable.
Understandable. Have a day.
All right. So, yeah, the snow is really coming down. You can barely see the porch as you head up onto it. It seems like every step further you take, your visibility is just getting worse and worse until you finally hit that first step and almost trip over it.
Pretty understandable. Sideways blowing snow tends to drift, and drifts are not fun to walk through and see elevation differences.
So you make it to the door.
I just knock. I wouldn't try opening it.
Okay, you knock on the door. The rancher says, "It's open."
Oh, I'll let myself in and close the door quickly.
Okay. Turn the latch. Come have a seat.
All right. I lock the door behind me and join the party.
Okay. And I guess this is as far as we're gonna make it. So we'll just leave it here with the entire party huddled around this fire in the rancher's house.
Alrighty.
Sounds good.